is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome back. Welcome black to In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. Today is Friday, 5/18/2018. Today's title, There's No Power Being a Victim, Black People. We're going to speak on a lot of that victimhood. We're going to speak on a lot of the gatekeepers and the talking heads that like to promote the victimhood and keep us believing that there's power in being a victim. We're going to speak on various topics and various subjects centered around black victimization and how profitable it is. How us being victims to this society that we live in turns into a job for some of our black talking heads, which is why they never have solutions for our problems. Because if you cure the problem, then they lose out on the job. The call-in number is 646-716-4654. Before we do anything else, just bring in my co-host, Smoke. Smoke, are you there?
Yo, what's good?
Yeah, I heard the Freddy Krueger squeaking in the background, you know. I figured, okay.
Yeah.
You already punched in.
Somebody exiting the premises.
Shit, man, it's Friday,
yeah.
Man, it was good.
Shit, I was off today, man. So it was a good day. Relaxing day.
Yeah,
mad dreary outside, you know what I'm saying? So it was just one of them days, you know what I'm saying? I had to take off for Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying, today. So it was a pretty relaxed day for me. Overall, the week.
Yeah, that was for Malcolm X.
Word. So it was good, though.
Shit, man, you know, Friday. Some of the interesting things that I've seen today was a lot of, well, it really was a lot of weird stuff I saw today. I've seen a lot of people making some weird decisions and celebrating it, or repeating weird ideologies and celebrating it. Like weird plans and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna expound more on it once we get into the topic, but let's cover some things so we don't forget. First up, the U.S. National Debt Clock. The U.S. National Debt Clock. All right, so let's get into that. The savings per family now is $4,090. So, yeah. There's another portion, the tariff tax revenue, that is increasing. You know what I'm saying? That's at, what, 43,688,000, you know, and all the shit. The U.S. federal budget deficit, that didn't go up again. All right. And the national deficit going up. All right, so then that's that. So, again, the savings per family is still dropping. We're now getting an increase of tariff tax revenue, corporate tax revenue, payroll tax revenue. Yeah, so that's cool. Let me run through some news. Cause I just want to make sure we get into some of these topics before we start going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to. Yeah, you know, I don't want us to, you know, how that shit go. Then we go on and shit, and then it's like some things get forgotten. Because it's a lot of the addiction for Trump. Did I talk about the addiction for Trump? Do you remember that?
On
Talking
the show?
about, yeah. Talking about how the news love watching and viewing Trump.
I don't remember.
All right, so I'll play that too then. All right, so let's get ready to set up the scene. All right, so that's cool. Let me get ready to set up the show then. Yeah, that's cool. I can add that into the mix too. All right, so let's get into this shit. So there's no power in being a victim, right? So what really inspired today's show is the resist movement. You know what I'm saying? The whole resist movement. Because it's like, resist what? We're not fighting. We're not trying to build. We just standing in the corner with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? This is like a sort of like a continuation from the last week's show. So it's like, so the point I'm making is this. So you resist the president. You don't want to attend nothing or be a part of nothing that he's doing, like the prison reform bill.
No, Van
but
Jones.
Then you're saying that right. That's Van Jones, right?
Yeah.
That was all right. So the prison reform bill, they don't want to be a part of that.
They saying that.
Wait, let me just say this real quick. All right, hold on. Let me just say this one point real quick then. So all right. So what I'm saying is this. All right, they got a bipartisan prison reform bill, right? That's supported by the White House. But you have our groups don't want to deal with that because Trump is a part of that. So you're playing political games with black bodies. These are black people in office. The easiest thing for us to do is primary them and replace their black asses with able-bodied, fresh-minded black people. You see what I'm saying? Younger, new ideas, more energy, willing to fight. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. So then what comes down to the pipe now is being proud to be a victim. And the only way the victim shit works is when the people that's supposed to fight for you to improve your situation don't fight for you. And so they don't improve your situation. So then you're dealing with the murders by the police, the failing school system, and all these ills that we're dealing with. But then the people that have the power to write bills and laws turn around and make us feel like it's another set of people who got the power to do that. Y'all are supposed to represent us, which are not representing us, and tell us stories about how weak we are, how much we need them, and we're fighting this struggle of changing America and all kind of stupid shit like that. And it's like, basically, there's no power in that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's no power in that shit. There's no power in being a victim. But we accept being a victim. And we get mad when we don't get sympathy. But nobody cares. But I don't get mad at the people for thinking like that, because you keep listening to the politicians tell you to think like that. The direction is now towards the politicians and the speaking heads. You know what I'm saying? So what you were saying, Smoke, about the prison reform bills?
Oh no, I was just saying like the bill that Van Jones is on with, along with the with the White House with Trump and that's supposed to be like a sentencing bill. So it's like working on people who are sentenced already. I think it gives 58 days or 52 days for every year for good time. So pretty much people who serve years of sentences, they're going to get time credited to good behavior automatically with that bill. The Democrats supposedly pushing a prison reform bill, which they saying is different than the sentencing bill. So they trying to, make a distinguish, just make a distinguish a difference between the two as to why they don't want that bill or don't want to support the bill that the White House is or trying to push, which is like some details, just some details, you know what I'm saying? Because the point of prison reform is, you want to keep people out of jail, but you also want to get the niggas out that's in jail out. So if you're telling me that there's something where you're able to, just have people free for good time, which means they're in jail, playing by the rules, deserve to get out, and whatever the other stipulations are, then why not be for it? And then on top of that, push your agenda. So whatever else is missing that you feel needs to be updated or upgraded from the bill that they have, then you push your agenda with it. So to me, it doesn't make any sense to even try to look at the differences in the bills that are being pushed, because either way it's helping people in prison, and then it's like a step in the right direction. But like you said at the beginning, it's this resist movement. So it's like at the cost of helping people. So there's someone in jail right now who is, can get out of jail, but the resistance is not allowing any action because the bill that they push, and we probably touch on it more later, the bill that they pushing, they already know that is going to fail, by their word, Democratic words.
You see, the funny thing about that is, I wonder how much. See, this is what I believe. I ain't even gonna say one. This is what I believe. Neither side have ideas outside of their powerful donors telling them agendas and things to do, right? So what happened is with the Democrats, what happened with them is they use what they can do as leveraging tools. Leveraging tools. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean by that is this. So they'll sit there and be like, well, we got the numbers to fix DACA. We could do that, and we can do health care, and we could do prison reform in 8 years. But if we do all of this and fix this shit, then what else do we have to give to the people? You know what I'm saying? So then what happened is now, the reason why I say that is because they had the story that said that they wanted to get the prison reform done during Barack Obama's administration, but they end up basically scrapping it, saying, we'll just handle that during Hillary's administration because they thought Hillary was going to win. So I'm thinking to myself, well, why wouldn't I just do it under Barack? Oh, because you need Hillary to have a win on her belt. So that would be a win. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now it's like, oh, that's what Hillary did. Yeah, and that's just something that got passed on to somebody. Like, yo, who wants I don't know, programs to feed our base. And it's like, yo, let me get two of them right there. Right, I'm gonna keep one for later. You never know when I might need to pull that card, and I'll just hold on to this one. This is welfare, and this is prison reform. You know what I'm saying? Or some shit like that. And it's like, that's how they play us. You know what I'm saying? So, but we cool with it to a certain degree, because then we feel like we had no choice. So that's when you get into the situation and shit like, well, let me not get into that right now. But then we feel like we don't have no choice, you know what I'm saying? But the thing that kills me, though, Smoke, is this: how we think that this is something that is not, right? So what I mean by that is, we're so gun-ho thinking that Trump is going to lose. They're not for what Trump's doing, this investigation, and they're going to bring him down, not realizing they're just feeding you until 2019. They're just feeding you until 2019, until it's time to vote again. That's it. Now here's what's funny, Smoke. This is how they really think. This is what they really think on the news and shit like that. And this is CNN, okay? I don't even play Fox. I don't believe on here. I ain't never played Fox. I damn sure don't believe. But you know, if it was good information, I'll play it. A lot of clips I play be from CNN, NBC, and things of that nature. So let's go ahead and play this CNN clip right here. It's called "New York Times columnist calls out media's Trump addiction." So here we go.
I do think that we have. I am a Trump addict. I think I'm willing to admit that. I think all roads lead to Trump right now. But you pointed out in a recent column that can be a problem. How so?
So, I mean, let me express my own addiction as well. Yeah. my wife and I, we find ourselves, our pillow talk is always about Trump. But I do think that we have to acknowledge that there is so much more happening in the world than Donald Trump. And we in the media are essentially all Trump all the time. And frankly, it's a little rude to say this, right? Cable television is particularly through our cable TV. It is. And the upshot is that we risk not covering a lot of really important things at home and around the world. And we complain that President Trump is parochial, isn't paying attention to important things around the world, and we're absolutely right. But that can also be said about us.
Well, there's always been a critique of the American press that's too focused on politics, Washington inside baseball, and not focusing up on real-world issues that affect communities. And I guess the point is that's even more true now because Trump sucks up all the oxygen.
I think that's part of it, and also I think, frankly, that there's obviously a crisis in journalism, and our old business model has been collapsing, and then along came Trump, and he's a bit the solution to our business model. As long as we have cameras focused on him, then audiences will follow.
No, that's interesting that you said that. He brought something similar at his rally a few days ago. Here's what he...
No, watch this right here. Watch this right here.
Okay.
For the presidency.
Watch this.
So I said, unless they give me an extension for the presidency.
Wait, can you hear that, Smoke?
That second part, I couldn't hear what he said.
He said, unless you give me the extension to the. He said that unless you give me an extension on the presidency. Listen to this.
So I said, unless they give me an extension for the presidency. Which I don't think the fake news media would be too happy about. Wait. They would be happy because when I'm not here, their ratings are going to sink.
No, I don't think that's entirely true, but there is a Trump bump that we've seen in television ratings and New York Times subscriptions, etc. So I suppose on an individual and an institutional basis, we have to reckon with that.
Yeah, I think we have to acknowledge it. in 2016, frankly, I think we in the media, to some extent, blew a historic election because we were so relieved that there was somebody we could cover that would generate these subscriptions. And then, as you remember, there was some anxiety in newsrooms that then Hillary Clinton was going to be elected and government would be boring again, and our audience would just desert us. Well, I mean, that did not happen. Isn't it?
You heard that part, Smoke?
Right. Yep.
Yeah,
Hillary Clinton.
They was dreading Hillary Clinton to win because they was like, yo, it's gonna go back to boring politics, and our ratings is gonna drop. They see Trump and all of that hate they did about Trump and all of this crazy shit about Trump, right? But it was bringing in the money. See, but when you understand capitalism, you understand white people, and you understand America, that's why I was able to say, oh, Trump going to win the election, and that's why I said Trump going to win the second term. See, we keep listening to the TV tell us something, but even when you listen to the TV, they tell you the truth. If you listen to them when they talk, they'll sit there and tell you straight up, Smoke. They'll straight up tell you, with the collusion and all that. Yeah, but collusion isn't illegal. So if collusion isn't illegal, what is this? Well, they're trying to find out if there was, because they're stringing you along while this story continues. You know what I'm saying? They're stringing you along until 2019 when they don't got to cover this no more because now they're going to be covering the maps and the trail and the campaign and all kind of, they're going to be all into that. So that's what I said. You're not going to hear none of this other shit. It's all stringing along. I'm listening to black people say, well, before I get into what black people say, we're talking about the New York columnists now. Again, they're on here, this is CNN, talking about how much they enjoyed covering Donald Trump because of the subscriptions and the ratings and all kind of shit. So guess what they're still doing? You know what I'm saying, Smoke?
They're going to keep it going.
They're telling you, we're doing this for the ratings. They just said that.
Which means a lot of fluff going to come with it.
A lot of fluff. Because we need to keep you interested so you can keep watching because this is 24 hours and there's only so much shit going on. You know what I'm saying? I can't, so much shit going on. We can't talk about boring shit because you're not going to be interested. Trump is exciting, so we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about him and Stormy Daniels and all that kind of shit. We're going to bring on Michael Agalaga, whatever the hell his name is, Avatini or whatever. And all this shit happens, and it's like everybody's being sensationalized by it and feeding into the gossip of it, but nobody's listening to them say, one, is Trump going to get indicted? No. And if you try to get Trump indicted, you know what he's about to do? Right now he's flipping a coin, picking North Korea, Iran. North Korea, Iran. North Korea, Iran. Because once we go into war, you ain't gonna switch that president.
Yeah, that's right.
They got the Hawk, the Bolton or whatever his name is. They already got him on video at some one of these meetings and shit like this. You know what I'm saying? These conquer the world meetings and shit. And he like, we're gonna be dancing. Cause they basically want regime change in North Korea and they want regime change in Iran. And he was like, yo, we're gonna be in Iran celebrated in Tehran, or something like that, which is the capital of Iran. So how they going to be in the capital of Tehran celebrating? Bolton already told Kim Jong-un, that they're going to give them the Libyan model. Slip of the tongue. Trump had to come back and clean that shit up. He's like, the Libyan model, that was decimation. We wiped them out. Letting you know. You understand what I'm saying, Smoke? How real it is, right? That's like a motherfucker saying to you, yo, nigga, keep coming around here, we're going to Swiss cheese you up. And you like, yo, man, I thought, you know what I'm saying, everything was peace and shit like that. Why your brother just say you going to Swiss cheese me up? You like, nah, man, that's Swiss cheese you up. That's slaughter, nigga. You know how much guns we got, nigga? We would shred your whole fucking body up. If we Swiss cheese, man, we would annihilate you, my nigga. Nah, we're not going to do that to you. And it's like, yo, what? See, all of that is that all of that, the game that's being played right now, all of that is 48 Laws of Power going on. If I had the book, I would break down which each one is. So for those who have the book, you do it. You know what I'm saying? That's my gift to you. You know what I'm saying? But everything he's doing is 48 Laws of Power. And we pay attention to this shit. You know what I'm saying? That's why all the motherfuckers he got out there with the loyalty and you know what I mean, Michael Cohen's and, you know, his old fucking, oh, I miss you, Donald, I wish I was there next to you, and all that other shit like that. You know what I'm saying? All of that shit is just letting him know that, yo, I'm still loyal to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still loyal to you. We're going to see how the game play. But you got to understand, if Donald Trump don't go to jail, which he ain't, then all of this courts and all this shit means what? Always remember that.
Waste of time.
It don't matter if they arrest everybody in his cabinet. If he ain't in jail, it was all a waste of time. Right or wrong, right?
He ain't going to jail.
It was all a waste of time.
You already know.
He ain't going to jail. George Bush ain't going to jail, did he? Remember, he was a war. Him and Dick Cheney, war criminals.
Right, walking.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's why I be saying, like, see, we too emotional, so we get caught up into the feeling game and what's right and what feels right and what's moral. What would you do in a situation like that? And that's why we always fell. Oh, man, why that cop couldn't shoot that brother in his arm? Shoot him in the leg. Why you had to kill him? Because he came there to kill him. That's why. I didn't come there to maim him. I didn't come there to injure him. I came here to murder him. Me and you on two different waves. I'm on the murder wave, and you on the warning wave. You see what I'm saying? We're never going to understand each other. These white people out here is really bluffing their way to correct their situation. They're bluffing their way, meaning they don't got the strength, but everybody else is so I can't think of the word, but it's like you work for somebody, right? You got weapons, goons, all that shit, right? But the person that want to get you, he know where your whole family live. He know where you work. You know what I'm saying? He know where your kids go to school at. He got control over the cops and, you know what I'm saying, people. You don't know if anybody's spying for this person. You know what I'm saying? It plays into your psyche. And that's how that white man does it, because he got the military in everybody's backyard. and he got missiles strategically placed in certain places. You know what I'm saying? And things like that. Any good gesture that the United States do for another country benefits the United States. You know what I'm saying? They might feed your whole goddamn nation and shit just to place a fucking missile defense shit over there because that'll help protect the United States. And you like, oh, thank you. Yeah, yeah, whatever. We're to a good 10, 15 years. When you forget about all this shit, about to wipe your ass out too. You know what I'm saying? But that's how this shit goes. And that's how the war is.
It's strategy, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's all strategy.
You know, you strong at one thing, you weak at another thing.
Right.
You're gonna play it a certain way, you know what I'm saying? You see what he's doing. He cornered North Korea, you know. Like, all right, y'all gonna have to pay by my rules. China, he backing them down with the tariffs and all of that. Backing Mexico down. Canada only ain't playing around. So it's just strategic.
Wait a minute. I gotta disagree with you though. How is he backing China down? We owe China all that money. China damn near brought America. China has this large army. China has so many people they can come to America and kick our asses. Isn't that what the robots say? The sheep say? When it comes to China?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Trump is going to have us go to war with China. We owe China so much. What are you talking about? Fiat money? All of this strategy. All of this strategy. The ZTE, that ZTE deal and all that shit like that. Come on. Oh, Trump trying to save Chinese jobs. That's what the CNN. Trump trying to save Chinese jobs. No. Trump playing with their economy and trying to let them know. Oh, okay. Let me show you how this works. This is how the trade deals work. Everything to benefit America. This is how the game goes. Okay, this company that we just basically put sanctions on this company so it can't grow. We're gonna put these tariffs. Our shit's gonna be higher to go over here and all kind of shit. Guess what? That whole ZTE shit is about to crumble and lay off mad fucking Chinese. So now what? Trump said, okay, we're going to make that good for you again, save the jobs over there, but you know what? I need you to let me have my way with North Korea, though. You see what I'm saying? That's how the game, that's how it works. That's how it works.
Strategy.
You know what? We'll let you bring in more of your cars and shit for the same percentage and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I want to have our way with North Korea. Don't interfere. If you do, then we can do the trade war shit, and you already took a glimpse that it's really going to affect you.
You already know what step one is. Go ahead and lay them people off, and it only get worse after that. Mm-hmm. So you decide what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. So it's all strategy, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the mind frame that we got to have, you know what I'm saying? It's like, we got to be in there like, well, y'all want votes, right? This is what we want. Mm-hmm. It has to be something like that on the political front. It can't be the straight living off of the victimhood of blacks, because that's just the talking head. You know what I'm saying? We hear the talking head. So this happened to us. Police killed this person. Police killed that person. But it's just really reiterating the issues, reiterating the problems. There's no steps forward in actually resolving the problems. And so I think that's when you get, you know, people actually in a position of where they profiting off of black victimhood. And that's why, my opinion, you see this, you know, you see the power still continuing, because a lot of our so-called, leaders or people that want to identify as leaders, but particularly politicians. That's why they taking the positions that they take. So if you think about it in the sense of what we mentioned earlier, in regards to the resistance, it's like it's resistance, no action. We mentioned last week the $1,200-page bill that Democrats knew wasn't going to get passed. So there's no bills that or policies that are going to come up that we realistically can get pushed to help black communities. So it's really nothing happening.
Or represent them. Or just
right,
represent
exactly.
us.
Right. So that means there's nothing happening. So where's this money going? Because money got to be a change in hand. People going places, visiting, hopping on private flights. So people getting paid. So who's getting paid? Where's it going? So that's the issue. It's like, why something resolve these issues when I'm getting paid just talking about them? And that's what you're seeing right now.
And that's what happened. The number one person, I'm trying to pull up a little interview right now, is your girl Angela Rye. You know what I'm saying? I don't have none of her stuff. I don't got it marked off, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just try to have it playing maybe in the background.
Yeah, like she started talking about the midterms and at like the 8-minute mark. And she was talking
the 8-minute?
Yeah, she was just talking about racism and just talking about the issues in the Democratic Party. Right.
All right, so that's what I want to get on.
Trying to avoid it. And
hold on.
Well, let's just give you the midterms and then consider the bill on the other side of that.
Oh, yeah. Let's go with that. All right, I'm going to play. Hold on.
Republicans have been pushing because of Donald Trump to protect immigrant rights. There are Republicans who are in vulnerable congressional districts that are like, we actually probably need to vote on this because we could lose in the midterm. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying that they've been trying to avoid the issue and just continue to play into the messaging without considering any bills to remedy some of the things that we're seeing, folks who are dreamers, DACA recipients in this country, and other things. They're trying to avoid it and just say, well, let's just get to the midterms and then consider the bill on the other side of that.
Why isn't there more focus on the midterms?
I think there's a lot of focus on the midterms.
I feel like the community is energized about the midterms.
Oh, you're talking about black folks?
Yeah. The culture.
The culture. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a lot of focus in the Beltway, right, in D.C. on the midterms because it's just.
You know, I just thought about, what did they think about that? Oh, you meant black folks. What else you thought we were talking about?
White
I just
folks.
thought about, like, who do you represent? Who are you speaking for? How is it that you're in a room full of black people on a syndicated show that caters towards black people in hip hop culture and things of this nature? You come on the show and then when Charlamagne says, "Why I don't hear that much about the midterm elections? Why isn't, I guess whatever he said, the people excited about it?" And she's like, who? What people? Black people? Who the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, but that's just basically like how I took that is the fact that you're not talking about it and they talking about it. She's like, oh, you talking about us though, because they talking about it. Basically is how I took it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey.
But then even with that though, the question goes back again, so then who do you represent? Because how are you a talking head? How are you a pundit? How are you on CNN talking and doing all the extra shit on CNN, but then black people not aware of the midterm or excited about participating in the midterms? So then what the fuck are you doing?
The focus is on Donald Trump, just like the news clip spoke about, the perception of Trump in the news. So pretty much we follow along with whatever's in the news. So that's the mode that we in also. But the midterm elections is coming up, man. You know, by the sound of that clip, people don't really give a damn.
Nah, let me play the rest of that shit.
I feel like the community is energized about the midterm.
Oh, you're talking about black folks?
Yeah. The culture.
The culture. I agree with you. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a lot of focus in the Beltway, right, in D.C. on the midterms because this is an opportunity for Democrats to reclaim the majority. I don't think Democrats are going to get the majority because, to your point, folks aren't energized about the midterms because what they've seen is regardless of what party.
Now, before I continue, pause it. So if she's saying that she don't think the Democrats is going to get the majority, then in essence what she's saying is Donald Trump is not going to get impeached. And if Donald Trump is not going to get impeached, is she relaying this to her auntie Maxine, who she co-signs and ride with, who thinks he's going to get impeached?
Which also
so
means anything the Democrats push. Anything the Democrats push going to get blocked. And so that's what they expecting. So it's even more dangerous to have a resist because that means any bill is putting up that's going to be placed up there, it's going to be at the mercy of the Republicans. So again, the strategy of not even wanting to delegate with the president on black issues makes that much less sense.
Exactly. Because at least, at the very least, you could have built a relationship. You see what I'm saying? Where you could make the phone call like Bob Johnson, like the pastor Brandon or whatever his name is. You know what I'm saying? Who was there for the one of them shits. You know what I'm saying? Because at least you can be in Trump's ear. But if you're screaming resist, then you're also telling me that everything else that you're doing in Congress ain't gonna work because nothing's gonna pass. And if ain't nothing gonna work because nothing's gonna pass, then why the fuck are you in Congress? Why are you elected official? Why are we paying you? If you're not representing us, and you telling us our plan for you, Black America, is to sit out for 8 years out of this election. We're gonna cover our eyes. We're going to close our mouth, and we're going to stick a finger in our fucking ear, and we're just going to ignore it for 8 years and just reminisce when we had a black president. That's all we're going to do. But keep paying us your tax money so I can send my kids to goddamn college while you get gunned the fuck down in the streets. But they won't do that if you primary them. They wouldn't do that if they knew if they sat their asses out for 8 years and they do shit for us. You're going to have a young black man or a young black woman who's sitting over here like, yo, I'm ready to challenge Maxine Waters to take her spot. I'm ready to take Al Green's spot. I'm ready to take John Lewis' spot. I'm ready to take and keep going, and change the whole goddamn face of the fucking Congressional Black Caucus. At least half. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe we will have better representation. We can't have better representation because we have old people with old ideas. Old ways. These niggas lived in 1960. And they'll tell you that. They lived in 1960. But let's continue with Angela Rye.
So you're affiliated with Racism is Still Alive. There are a number of Democrats who have disregarded many of the things that Congressional Black Caucus members have said for years inside the party, whether we're talking about how they spend their money, the races they choose to support, the candidates they choose to support. There's issues going up right now about candidates who are great, who look like us, that the Democrats aren't supporting. And so when you look at, I know I don't want to support Donald Trump or anybody that, is affiliated with those kind of policies, but I don't really see you going hard for me either. Right. It makes people apathetic. And so the only thing that I could suggest is that people start pushing their own agenda, their own issues. I think a good example of that is the Congressional Black Caucus just released what they call an omnibus bill, which means it's huge, all-encompassing. It touches a number of areas, 1,200 pages. And it's in response to when Donald Trump, during the election, said, what in the hell do you have to lose? They said, we have a lot to lose, and they issued this report. They issued this report, and then the bill, the legislation, came out of that report. They touch on everything from job creation opportunities to criminal justice issues, something that we know this administration also really, really struggled with. So that's one thing. I think the other piece is, as we get closer to the midterms, there are primaries. So Stacey Abrams is running for governor in Georgia. And this is, I think, case in point of what you kind of just hit on. Stacey Abrams is a Black woman. She started something called the New Georgia Project to register all of the people in Georgia, to help register folks who were not registered. Over 200,000 people filled out applications to register to vote through her program. The Democrats in Georgia decided, the establishment Democrats decided, this does sound really familiar, I'm going to see if you all know who it sounds like, they decided that she wasn't electable, right? This is a Black woman who's not married in Georgia. She's not electable. So Stacey Abrams' primary Democratic opponent is Stacey Evans. They ran a white Stacey who was electable against Stacey Abrams. So to me, it's like, okay, so what does electable look like to you? It's white.
See, so that's how I'm talking about the Republicans, right, Smoke?
All right.
Smoke.
Yeah.
That's how I mean. So you're talking about the Republicans, right? What the Republicans is doing, right? And how the Republicans had a Black Stacey, and they end up putting another Republican to primary that one. You see what I'm saying? These are Democrats. Yeah, these are Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you standing on the side of Democrats, and again, I don't side on either side. I stand on the Black side. So it's like you standing on the side of Democrats, you talking shit about Black conservatives and Black Republicans, calling them coons, right? Now, I ain't opposed to that, but here's the point. Black conservatives and the ones that we call coons, the opposite of them are the liberal Blacks. Y'all both coons. One cooning for the goddamn Republican and the other one's cooning for the fucking Democrat. This chick sat here and said, we don't want nothing to do with no bill signed by Donald Trump. And for what? What if the bill helps your fucking people? What if this is a bill that helps your people? You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me you'll sit there and just let that go by the wayside? Because of Trump? You're a fucking fool. You're a fool. But let's keep listening to what this fool got to say.
Right? It's somebody who's palatable. You decide what Georgia can and cannot handle, even though she spent all this time advancing the culture, making sure that our voices are heard when the Secretary of State in Georgia has been working to suppress culture.
You didn't say anything about Barack?
That's what I'm saying. It sounds eerily familiar.
Gotcha.
So, when you run into that situation, at some point, Democrats are going to have to reckon with Black people for why our candidates are never electable. But we regularly win statewide. I give you Kamala Harris and Cory Booker. We won, an election when you give us the support, and even when you don't give us the support, we can push forth our own candidates. So it's really traumatizing to see.
So Democrats don't give a damn about Black people either.
I think that Democrats need to begin to prove that they do by supporting policies that support our interests. But when we tell you, or when the CBC is telling them, the Congressional Black Caucus is telling them, or other elected leaders are telling them they can run and win statewide, that they begin to put their money where their mouths are. Progressivism in and of itself does not mean that you are free from racism, right? White supremacy can absolutely go beyond party lines. And I think that we have to have some really tough conversations and then subsequent demands and actions for them to deal with that.
Isn't that the same shady woo politics that cost Bernie Sanders the nomination, though? Because in a way, they felt like he wasn't electable?
I think that the difference with Bernie Sanders is, and people could say it's semantics, Bernie Sanders is an independent who caucuses, meaning he mostly votes with and goes to the party meetings in the Senate with Democrats. That doesn't mean that he's a Democrat. So I think there was some frustration about fairness, right? How does an independent get to run in a Democratic primary? He shouldn't be a part of that primary. I understand that. I also understand why Bernie Sanders' outside-the-box thinking was so appealing to young people, because there are a number of them. And I even understand if I say I vote for Democrats, but I don't consider myself a Democrat. I don't want.
Yeah, so that's the part I was waiting. I was just about to cut it off, but that's the part I was waiting for.
Yeah, I had it marked down. I couldn't see where you was at as far as the time.
A number of them, and I even understand if I say I vote for Democrats, but I don't consider myself a Democrat. I don't want to be boxed into any of your stuff.
You're a free thinker.
Oh, don't. Sorry. So strongly today.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, so I wanted to get that last part too, when she started getting all shooken up because she actually got fucking thinking. So it's just funny to me, Smoke, when she gets to the point where she says that she'll vote Democrat, but she ain't trying to label herself a Democrat. She don't want to be caught up in no box and no shit like that. Yeah, okay, but you shitting on other people's ideologies. To prop up an ideology, but don't want to be part of the group that deals in that ideology. It makes no sense to me. Go ahead, Smoke.
Well, no, it's just her being non-committal. You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen to what she said up to that point, she pretty much, in my opinion, is throwing the Democratic Party under the bus. So she's pretty much talking about the games that they plan. They don't want to support the black candidates. However, you see successful candidates. You mentioned Cory Booker, you know what I'm saying, being able to, get spots. So she basically saying that. However, she votes for Democrat. So, but you don't consider yourself that. So to me, it's just like she knows games that's being played. However, she's still going along with the game. And to me, that means you getting paid. I mean, we know she's getting paid anyway. So basically, you will go along with the program as long as you good, in my opinion. It's like she would have been out of there. It's like, you're going to go through all of this. It's like, why would you support something of that nature where you have candidates that look like her, black women, that being railroaded and not being taken seriously as candidates? Given everything that's going on, especially with women right now, like, why would you support that? So you have to be getting just paid. Like, you're comfortable in what you're getting paid or your status within, within what you're doing right now. But, you can't just be totally committed to it. So it's like, oh, that's what I vote, but I don't consider myself that. So, when the backlash comes, she always be like, I never said I was a Democrat.
Right.
She know what's up.
That makes
she know what's up. She know what's up, man. She know that it's a strategy. She know that it's a strategy that's going to keep us at zero.
I just read a title that just says, FBI informant used in 2016 but not to spy, as Trump says. I'm like, yeah, all right. All of that swing, the goddamn, all that shit is going to play into the end, because if you're a Trump supporter and Trump saying the FBI put a fucking spy in your crew, and then the FBI come out and say the informant used in the FBI say an FBI informant was used in 2016, but not to spy. It's like, yeah, all right. That's like saying, this dude mess with trannies. I be seeing them out, and it's like, no, I might be out with trannies. But I ain't never sleep with no tranny. What? Like, fuck out of here. You got an FBI informant. You use an FBI informant. But gonna say, but he wasn't a spy though. That's what America, boy. They'll chop up some words in a second. But this is the thing that was crazy with the whole Angela Raj shit again, like I said. So you got that, you got the different angles she coming with again, right? With showing you how the Democrats neglect black people, right? We've been hearing this shit for I don't know how many motherfucking decades. You know what I'm saying? We done played videos on the show, audio on the show, of Malcolm X saying the country votes 50-50. And it's the black vote that's the tipping scale. And the Democrats use your vote, but then tell you how they ain't got time to help you. But they'll use your vote to win. He said this shit in 1960-something. 2018, we out here like, yo, I think we need to have a stern, hard talk with the Democratic Party. What? I've been talking to them about this shit since I was a kid, 37 years ago.
It's a joke. It's not serious.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just talk. You just keep saying the
now
same
here's my
shit
question,
over and
bro.
over.
Here's my question. So Trump is a racist, right? Trump is a sexist. Trump is this bad, bad person. The Republican Party, bad group of people. Anti-black. Then we turn around and say that the Democrats treat you just as bad. The Republicans, you're being told treat you bad, and the Democrats is actually treating you bad. Wouldn't it make sense just to have a black agenda where you can use the Republicans, and if it's things that you can work with them on to help tighten up the black economy, and then you can work with the Democrats to help tighten up and then you got two crackers fighting for your vote. Yeah. You got the Democratic crackers and you got the Republican crackers. And they both fighting for your black ass vote. But it don't work because you want to fall in love instead of playing the field. You know what I'm saying? So the Democrats go kiss you up on your neck and shit. Now you want to be all sprung to the Democrats. The Democrats beating your ass and beating your ass since the 60s. I ain't going to say since the 60s. I want to say ever since they said, because you got to remember, the good times was all the black mayors. All throughout the 60s. Not the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. David Dinkins. Yeah! We feeling it. You know what I'm saying? We got all these black mayors and shit like that. We got all these black mayors. Oh my God, Jesse's about to run for fucking president. Oh, this is beautiful. And when that shit ain't happen and niggas ain't hit that presidential shit from the 80s, we got into the 90s, and when Clinton came in there, and I'm gonna tell you the story. Reagan got 2 terms. Reagan getting 2 terms mean the Democrats lost for 8 years. I'm speaking from Reagan. I'm not speaking prior to Reagan because I don't know that game. I think before Reagan with Jimmy Carter maybe or some shit. So, okay, so even for Jimmy Carter, right? Let's do it like this. Let's do Nixon. So it's like Nixon for 2 years. But we understand he stepped down and all this shit, but it's Republicans. it's Republicans, 2 years. Then, Carter for 1 term or some shit like that. Then you got Reagan, 2. Then you got Bush, 1. So that means the Democrats was out of power all that time. When the Democrats was out of power all that time, the Democrats would look at the blacks and say, yo, let me do something to help y'all. Maybe I can get more of your votes. No, the Democrats said, we're going to be tougher on crime like the Republicans. We're going to fight for the white voting population. That's what we're going to do. And that's what they did. And they've been kicking our ass ever since the 90s. So they've been kicking our ass in 1990, 2000, 2010, and then we're going to come into 20. It'll be 40 years of getting our ass kicked by the Democrats. We're going to listen. We're going to listen to all of the same fucking rhetoric. We're going to be talking about how the Democrats don't listen to us. Because we did that show too, Smoke. When we played the clips, I want to say from Roland Martin, where Roland Martin, because he stayed on their ass talking about how he's the one that told the story about how for the Hillary campaign, the white staffers were getting paid, and the black staffers was doing this volunteer. You know what I'm saying? And they started talking about how Roland Martin was talking about, during the Doug Jones and all that shit, like, why y'all waiting for the last moment to put money into these black districts so they can campaign for the vote? You know what I'm saying? Like, he been saying that shit. So that's not new, basically, is what I'm saying. So it's like, so the Democrats is taking advantage of our vote. You know that already. Donald Trump even said that, right? You don't want to fuck with the Republicans because they're racist, conservative, and you don't agree with what they fuck with. So wouldn't it make sense to stand on your own fucking agenda? That way, if you have business policies that you want passed, you can look to the Republican. You can look to a Democrat. You know what I'm saying? And see which one could help you with your policy. Be like, listen, you want extra votes for that bill? Add this to that joint. Add that to that spending bill. Add that to the whatever. That's how the game go. Not resist. We're not going to speak 45 and all that dumb shit like that. That's not how the game goes.
Right.
So now she's saying that she votes Democrat, agrees with the Democrats, going to push that damn agenda with the Democrats and all of that, fight for them and all of that, but she ain't going to claim them. She's not going to claim the Democrats. But she's going to do everything, 99% of the shit dealing with Democrats. She's going to sign up for and agree and all that shit, except that 1% which is claiming it. She ain't going to do that. I'm not going to claim it. Everything else I'm going to do. Fuck out of here. Now watch this when it comes to free. All unnecessary shit. Because we got to stay victims. We got to stay victims. Because as long as you're a victim, that means you're needy. You see what I'm saying? You're needy. And that means now you need me. Now when I'm on the show, I have a purpose. I don't got to tell you a solution. I can keep telling you ideas. You see what I'm saying? I can keep telling you ideas. So now watch this. Wait, let me make sure the volume is on. All right, watch this.
Sorry. Don't throw me today. Please.
Let's talk about that.
Just got free. Oh, you want to talk about that?
What did you think about some of the things that you heard come out of Kanye? Kanye shouted you out on Twitter.
First of all, that's your fault.
Definitely Charlamagne's fault.
God, so to me, free thinking isn't isn't throwing out random, unresearched, dangerous rhetoric that can end up causing us harm. That's not free thinking, because the word think is in there, and in order to think, you have to have some type of knowledge of what you're speaking on. Yeah, and I think that you throwing out something to be sensational is just as dangerous as his president, who he claims and reps hard with the MAGA hat, too. Ultimately, I think that we have people who have never been monolithic. We've always had people who have ideas and thoughts and proposals and visions across the spectrum. That's not my problem. My problem is you're promoting someone who has said very damaging things about people that I love and respect. Anyone that tries to come at Congresswoman Maxine Waters is going to have to deal with me. I don't like the stuff about, such and such is on a plantation. I don't like the slavery analogies. I try to steer clear from them. I'm not always successful. But I think it's very dangerous for us to use rhetoric that causes more of a divide. So it's not. I'm not bound, or I'm not enslaved because I think different from you, right? It's just that I know that I cannot count on Donald Trump. I have proof, not just from when he ran, but from the years, the number of decades he was in business for himself, the things he did to people who look like him. And he's the opposite of supporting free thinking Donald Trump is anyway, because anybody who disagrees with him or has anything to say against him, as any president should be able to go back and forth with somebody and actually even have people working with them that don't have the same exact thoughts, because that's how you advance. And he's against that. If you come up against him or don't agree with what he has to say, you're out of there. Yeah, it's a yes man mentality. And he's a bully. Like, there's nothing free about someone who...
There's nothing free about somebody who's bullied. Yeah, right? So, again, this is more that victim shit, right? Because everything being talked about is emotion. Everything, because, again, he's a bully. Let's put this in real life, right? He's a bully. He like yes men's around him. Anybody that disagree with him, he'll fire them and all kind of shit like that. All that's emotion, because at the end of the day, if that happened to your child, what are you gonna tell your child? You gonna tell them to resist? You gonna tell them to stop going to school? Or you gonna tell them to stand up?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like in real life, put this shit to real life. If your child going to school and there's somebody harassing your child, is you going to tell your child to resist, stay home, so not to deal with it? Or are you going to tell your child to stand up?
Right.
But we don't want to use that as a people. Even when she's going to say, oh, the rhetoric is being used to divide. Divide who? You ain't talking about us. You see what I'm saying? She ain't talking about us. In the beginning, why I don't feel the energy for the midterm elections or whatever like that. Oh, who you mean, for black folks? What I said, damn, who the fuck you representing? Then here come the second one. Oh, the rhetoric is being used to divide. Divide who? Divide who? Because to me, when you ask the average black person, everybody on the same accord that it's fuck Donald Trump, right? Nobody fuck with Donald Trump that black, right? So we unified. We all understand police gunning us down, right? So we unified, right? Under the understanding of the times we living in, right? Or the climate, I should say, that we living in, right? So we unified. So what are you talking about divide? What divide? Oh, you talking about for white people. Oh, your main objective. Right, no doubt. Your main objective. Because I don't understand how a black person, or excuse me, people that look like me and you, right? Motherfuckers can't even say black. They want to say people that look like me and you. Peoples of color, minorities, urban. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. Like, all these stupid ass terminologies and shit like that. And it's like, no. So you're not sitting over here speaking on black people. You don't have no real solution or plan or anything for black people. You work for a political establishment, and you're out here trying to put life into votes. That's it. When it comes to black people, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. You don't even have to say nothing to us. And we'll sit there and be like, ooh, she's smart. Ooh, he's brilliant. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they ain't even say shit. Let's see what else you got in there.
Bullying people into supporting them. So I just, that was really frustrating to me. I think that
basically you didn't appreciate Kanye's shout out, is what you're saying.
That wasn't a shout out.
Okay. He was Googling.
He was trolling. He was trying to prove to you on social media that he was listening.
That he's doing his homework.
Meanwhile, he also put Tommy on there, so then he trolled you back a little bit.
Well, a little bit, but I was explaining to him. I was explaining to him why talking to those kind of people is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to be having conversations with the Tommy Lawrence of the world.
You had a conversation with Tommy Lawrence.
I did. You live and you learn.
Now that's what's funny, right, Smoke? Because he's saying how dangerous it is to talk to the Tommy Lawrence of the world, right? So when you hear that, you know what I'm saying, then you thinking like on some racial pride, unity, these are racist people over there, and we're going to, nah. He's talking about career. Because you remember when he did that Tommy Lawrence shit? Who was president? You see, and when he did that, the Tommy Lawrence interview, Barack was president. On the Breakfast Club, he was also calling up the radio as a racist Ku Klux Klan man, right? Calling black people on the radio, this nationally syndicated radio, Jigaboo, Sambo's, Porch Monkey, all kind of shit, right? All that shit. And if you think about it, that's the real reason why when the white callers call up, they be so mad that he's saying cracker ass cracker. If you called up, think about this, Smoke. What the time they call up, now they mad that he said cracker ass cracker. Where was y'all when he was caught saying coon, Jigaboo, Sambo, Porch Monkey, you watermelonian, white power, all in the background and all kind of shit like that? Nobody called up. Nobody called up. Then when he started saying cracker ass cracker, all these white people, yo, I love your show, I listen all the time, it's just, sometimes I just hate when you say, the cracker ass cracker thing. And I always say to myself, I didn't even know this many white people listen to Brett, but I forgot, yeah, during the Democratic time, Charlemagne was cooning his ass off. Now that a Republican is in office, now he was trying to school Kanye on why it was dangerous to speak to those type of people. And then Angela Rye had to remind him that he spoke to her too. So now he's like, you live and you learn. No, it's not the climate. Wait till the Democratic term come again, and Charlemagne going to turn right back into a coon. Watch what I say. But every time a Republican's in office, and you can check the history, every time a Republican is in office, it's black activism. Black support, buy black, support black. Check the times. And every time it's a Democrat in office, we don't see color. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the game we want to play, that shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, why I got to buy black? Just because you black don't mean, and all that shit's Democratic time. Now watch this.
His homework.
Meanwhile, he also put Tommy on there, so then he trolled you back a little bit.
Well, a little bit, but I was explaining to him. I was explaining to him why talking to those kind of people is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no need to be having conversations with the Tommy Lawrence of the world.
You had a conversation with Tommy Lawrence.
I did. You live and you learn.
When I tell you we had a whole debate up here, and I was very disappointed when that happened, but I think, you're right, you live and you learn. The hard part, too, is you think about Dr. King, I can't help it, right? This is the 50th year, the anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King.
Now, before you continue, Sloan, she brung up Dr. King, right? She brung up Dr. King. I just want to make sure I put that out. She brought him up. What's this?
And you can't help but to acknowledge, like, Dr. King sat down with his enemies. He sat down with people who didn't agree with him to try to convince them there was another way.
Malcolm X, today's Malcolm X's birthday, and he sat down with the KKK. A lot because Elijah Muhammad told him to.
I don't know if I would like that, but I hear, and I think the challenge for me is.
So she brings up Martin Luther King and says how she forgot that he sat down with his enemies and said it pridefully. And then when Charlamagne says, yeah, and you know what? And today's Malcolm X's birthday. She didn't know that because you see there's a part on her face. Like oh, really? Look on her face. So then she goes, Charlamagne says the story and says that he sat down and spoke to the KKK from Elijah Muhammad's order, and she goes, oh, I wouldn't advise that. But you just said Martin Luther King sitting down with his enemy was basically like a noble act, a strong, powerful thing that Dr. King did. But then if you replace enemy with an actual enemy, then she wouldn't suggest that. It makes no sense. That's that double talk.
Pretty much.
That's that double talk.
Yeah, but it also shows you that. It also shows that, like, you know, when you talk about Martin Luther King, you know, talking with his enemies, Martin Luther King had efforts that directly led to legislation. And one of his strategies was talking to motherfuckers. So it's like, that was the last successful legislation we had. So it's like, if that was one of his strategies that worked, then why would you not follow that strategy? But then also it's like the strategies that maybe need to be updated, like you always hear, you know, like petitions and standing out in front of places and doing shit like that. You know, those are the ones that we harp on. You know what I'm saying? But really, that's just part of the strategy. So you can't really knock it, but it's just like we go into that. But there's the strategies that really gonna create some type of substance. We stray away from those. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be cool to go set up a picket or a protest somewhere. You know, that's just gonna last for a day. We'll do that all the time. But then to strategize and have strategic meetings with different leaders who may oppose, but is able to, but is willing to sit down with us and sit down with our leaders. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that at all. But we'll do, you know, those other things that not necessarily going to be fruitful, you know what I mean?
And that's my whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the fuck is the fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't fight no more? That I've never seen black people not fight, y'all. I've never seen this right now. Black people not fighting. Black people not fighting at all. You know what I'm saying? But let me see if I got any more Angela Rye on here that I wanted to go, because then we're gonna get into the add on to another part of this whole spiel. Hold on. All right, hold on.
At what point do you say, you know what, this is 65, I can't communicate with you, versus, okay, I'm interested in at least having a conversation? One thing.
Wait, that's perfect. That is fucking perfect. Hold on. That is fucking perfect. Hold on.
A conversation. One thing I do want to acknowledge, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, who's been on the program, and Van Jones, who's a CNN colleague, they're working right now with the White House on some prison reform measures. I think that's phenomenal. The challenge I have is, how are you going to criminal justice and prison reform, but you won't engage in in sentencing reform, but not prison reform. So Jeff Sessions issued that memo, right, saying that we're rescinding this Sally Yates idea of closing down our relationship, ending our relationship with private prisons. So we're going to keep the private prisons relationship open, but I'm open to talking to you about sentencing reform. Those two things can't peacefully coexist. So I'm glad that they're having that conversation, but I'm eager to see what the subsequent policy looks like. The one thing that encourages me is the fact that the entire Republican Party is at least financially beholden to the Koch brothers. And Koch brothers, before Donald Trump was elected, this was a big platform for them, as well as Newt Gingrich. So maybe something good will come out of that.
One thing did come out of a good Twitter rant, though, was a big discussion.
Yeah. So that's funny. So now we're going to get into that. Here we go. This is President Trump delivers remarks at the Prison Reform Summit.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I have to begin by expressing our sadness and heartbreak over the deadly shooting at Santa Fe High School in Texas just took place moments ago. We're closely monitoring the situation, and federal authorities are coordinating with local officials. This has been going on too long in our country. Too many years, too many decades now. We grieve for the terrible loss of life and send our support and love to everyone affected by this absolutely horrific attack. To the students, families, teachers, and personnel at Santa Fe High, we're with you in this tragic hour, and we will be with you forever. My administration is determined to do everything in our power to protect our students, secure our schools, and to keep weapons out of the hands of those who pose a threat to themselves and to others. Everyone must work together at every level of government to keep our children safe. May God heal the injured, and may God comfort the wounded, and may God be with the victims, and with the victims we're very sad. On another note, very positive note, I'm honored to be here today with so many leaders from across the nation who are committed to the crucial issue of prison reform. Joining us today are several members of my cabinet who are working diligently on this issue. Attorney General Sessions, Secretary Zinke, Secretary Acosta, Secretary Perry, Secretary DeVos, and Acting Secretary Wilkie, who, by the way, has done an incredible job at the VA, and I'll be informing him in a little while, he doesn't know this yet, that we're going to be putting his name up for nomination to be Secretary of the...
Yeah, I kind of found the part where they talk about them, Van Jones. I don't remember all of this extra talking and shit. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's weird. Oh, yeah, okay, that part, yeah. Hold on, man.
Goes into the really good category. It's a little more expensive, that's all. We are doing a terrific part, including two who are with us today who have really been active, feel so strongly about it.
Hold on.
Governor Mary Fallon and Governor Susan Martinez.
Oh, no, that's not it. Damn, you know how that shit is when you're listening to something and you ain't really paying attention to the... But it got to be coming soon from Steve Van Jones.
I also want to thank Van Jones.
Here you go.
Primarily because he constantly says such nice things about him. He did.
Here you go, right
Every once in a while, right? Every once in a while, he did. He did. Free Jones. Thank you. I also want to thank Van Jones, primarily because he constantly says such nice things about me. He did. He did. Every once in a while, right? Every once in a while. Hey, he actually has on occasion. Too often, but I'll tell you what, though, it does feel good. And I also want to thank then, I have to say, Jared Kushner, who has worked so hard on this issue. Really well. Thank you. We're proud of you. We're proud of you. Prison reform is an issue that unites people.
Yeah, so the whole point of, and I apologize for the clip being this damn long. I really didn't even know where it was at. But the whole point of me playing that was to play to show this. That's how you negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Angela Rye saying, yo, well, how you going for prison with no sentencing reform, but not what? Smoke prison reform? What was her gripe?
Yeah, prison sentencing reform, but not prison reform.
Or some shit, right? And it's like, what are you talking about? You wanna it's like her whole shit is like, yo, this what we want. And if you don't say, and it's either yes or no. And it's like, yo, man, you got to be smart with it. We may not be able to pass that, but that's what we want. Yo, but how about this? How about we can't do nothing about the prison, but at least let's do something with the sentencing. You see what I'm saying? If we work the sentencing, we can try for the prison reform when the Democrats in office, because that's going to be harder with a Republican. But it's easier for me to get this one through here with sentencing, where we can get the good time off and to chop our time down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you want nothing. You just want to say all or nothing. Keep the system how it is or change it all completely. Don't do no tweaks. No, you got to chip away at that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Work like that.
That's not how that shit works. That's not how it works. Here's another one right here, Smoke. Here's another. This is Roland Martin on Tom Joyner group talking about the prison bill reform. But this is before it got signed, though, right? So check this one.
Well. People, guy, hope all is well. Cincinnati, I'll see you guys on Friday, the Collective Empowerment Group. Looking forward to speaking to you on Friday and Saturday. 100 Black Men of Prince George's County. I'll be chatting with you guys on Saturday as well, and so looking forward to that. Tom, I got a meeting today with the folks at White House about a jail reform bill that is making its way through the House as we speak. And it's very interesting because you have some folks who are battling for criminal justice reform, obviously. But the White House, Jared Kushner, is pushing this jail reform bill. Remember, his dad served time in federal prison that will provide some assistance. And you have different groups, the ACLU, NAACP, and others who are opposed to it. But then you have folks like Van Jones and his criminal justice reform group, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries of New York, who are supportive of the bill. Joining us right now is Topeka Sam. She, of course, is very much involved in criminal justice reform, spending time herself in locked up. Topeka, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm well. Thank you.
So first and foremost, you work with an organization, but the Hope Ministries. You're the founder and executive director, and have an expansive criminal justice reform bill. But then you have others who are saying, look, there are 100,000 people in prison who could be helped by this bill. What's your position on?
Okay. Okay, well, good morning, world. I'm really, really grateful to have the opportunity to speak about this and bring a little awareness to what's going on with the First Step Act. And it is, in fact, called First Step for a reason. The reason why I, as a woman who is a woman of color, who is formerly incarcerated, and who has decided to actually educate our people and the public, and when I say our people, not just people of color, but all people, and people who have been impacted by incarceration, that being a first step, this can help push 4,000 people home immediately with, for example, 54 days good time credit, which would be retroactive, right? It can, just basics, people who are in the BOP, before they leave, they have to have valid ID. There's a pilot program, which I'm most excited to hear, that will allow formerly incarcerated people to go back inside of the prison and earmark funding for that. And so, to me, personally, I feel like we have to start looking at the people, like it's people over politics, right? It's not about Jared Kushner. It's not about Trump. And I know how, angry and upset that we are, but we cannot continue to not do just because of a few people.
What does the bill propose? No one said anything about what the bill actually proposes.
Well, like I was just explaining, there's 54 days good time credit, which means that which will be retroactive. So for every year a person has been incarcerated, they would get 54 days, which actually pushes many people out of prison who've been sitting in prison for decades already. There's the pilot programs, like I said, that would allow formerly incarcerated people the opportunity to go back inside the prison and actually mentor and do programs to other people who are incarcerated, because we do know that people who've been through an experience are the ones who understand how to transition successfully through that experience. Basics, again, like valid ID for people who are in prison. When you leave prison, you need ID, right? You can't move around this country without ID. We get shot and killed without ID. So at least you'll have that basic thing before you leave. And then, there's many other things.
You also have
created.
Topeka, 1 second. You also have $50 million in there a year for programs dealing with job training, education, that reduce recidivism. That's one of the things also in the bill as well. Topeka, go ahead.
Right, and so there's custody and some others have put up a website that will be launched this week. It's called firststepact.org, and people can go on and get more information about the bill. But I just, when we think about prison reform versus sentencing reform, it is necessary. I would never say that we don't need sentencing reform, but I will say is that we should not just think one-sided. We should not just think that because one thing happens, another thing won't. I'm a woman of God and a woman of faith, and I know that I trust in God and not man. So if we're able to actually pass anything in this administration, I think that it would be that we can do anything. And then all types of crime,
not just white-collar crime, like Jared Kushner's father.
No, it's not just white-collar crimes. There are different stipulations in the bill that, of course, there are exclusions. But if people would just go on and read it for themselves, I would encourage people to do that. It's not about, how I feel about the bill personally. I'm just glad to have the opportunity to share what I do know about it, and that, when I talk to my sisters and brothers that are incarcerated, they want to come home. So they're not really interested in, and before I speak up about anything, I do communicate with my people.
Tom, here's the battle, Tom. Yeah. The real battle here is that, first of all, they had an opportunity to pass an expansive bill before Obama left the White House, and then and there were many progressives who said, "Oh, we can get a better bill when Hillary wins." Well, that didn't happen, and so also many progressives and many Democrats want a much more expansive criminal justice reform bill. Well, there are others who say, look, the likelihood of you getting that is virtually zero. So at least get something. And so you have a Leadership Council of Civil Rights, NAACP, 72 other groups who are opposed to the bill because they want something more expansive. But then my conversations with Van Jones, also I'll be talking with Congressman Hakeem Jeffries today. They're saying, look, we have an opportunity to get some type of reform. Let's move forward with that. say, no, we're going to hold out and wait for this expansive reform that the likelihood of you getting is not there. While people in jail are just sitting there rotting.
So once again, Smoke, that's three different people, right? It's Roland Martin, it's the Angela Rye, all right, and then it was the actual conference of the Trump shit, right? Talking about the prison reform bill, right? Van Jones is like, yo, y'all trying to push some shit that y'all know ain't gonna get passed. When we heard that again, Smoke, with the fucking Congressional Black Caucus.
Right,
pushing some shit that won't get passed. Right. Angela Rye is on what side? But watch this. Angela Rye is on what side? The Congressional Black Caucus. She was just bigging up on the Breakfast Club, their bill, their legislation. You know what I'm saying? Because when Trump said, what the hell are you going to do now? And they came up with this and it turned into legislation. But that legislation, they said, the Congressional Black Caucus said, it ain't going to pass. So now you got the Congressional Black Caucus. Just to add that in. Here we go, Smoke. Black lawmakers unveil massive legislation package. Black members of Congress unveiled a 1,300-page bill Thursday that would increase spending for public schools, invest more federal funding in infrastructure projects, and restore a key provision of the 1965 Voters' Rights Act. Members of the Congressional Black Caucus, a group of mostly Democrats concede the legislation stands little chance of passing in the Republican-controlled Congress, but said they wanted to lay out a blueprint of their priorities for now and if Democrats win the majority in November. Right, Smoke? Now, remember, I already played earlier, I want to say a clip where they said that they don't think the Democrats is going to win, right? Did I play that or did I
Ross said it. Angela Ross said that. She said that.
Oh, Angela Rye, right. That's who said that shit. Angela Rye just said she don't think the Democrats is going to get the fucking majority. So she said she don't think the Democrats are going to get the goddamn majority, but yet she's bigging up a fucking legislation passed by the Congressional Black Caucus who concede the legislation stands little of a chance in the Republican-controlled Congress, but said they wanted to lay out the blueprint for their priorities for now in case the Democrats win the majority in November. But the person bigging this shit up just said they're not going to win. So you just coming out with failed legislation. So then you come around, the NAACP and these other groups come around now with more failed legislation, and they don't want to do no fucking prison reform. And like Tom Joyner said before I cut the clip off, and have people rotting in jail, right? Then, because they want an expansive bill that they know can't happen under Republican control. They want an expansive bill, hoping that a Democrat, so you got to wait until a Democrat come back in office for you to live, right? These are your people. These are the talking heads. These are the people that supposedly is fighting for us. You see what I'm saying? Van Jones turned around now, and he comes out like, yo, listen, well, let's at least fight for this. You know what I'm saying? Let's at least fight for this. If we can't do nothing about the sentencing, let's at least work on ways to get the sentencing chopped down. You know what I'm saying? Let's at least get that.
Let's get something.
They saying no.
Let's get something.
Let's get something. And then if a Democrat coming back in office, then you fight again. If it is not a Democrat, you still fight. But see, you can't think like that because y'all are fucking Democrats. Y'all not black and y'all not for a black agenda. Y'all Democrats. Y'all Republicans. You see what I'm saying? Y'all not a black agenda. You're not centered upon that. That's the problem. Angela Ross says, "Yo, I'm gonna vote everything and do everything to support and all kind of shit to speak democratically, but I'm not gonna call myself a Democrat anymore." Why not? Why not? See, the Democrats pay you. That's why you can't drop their agenda. The reason why she don't want to call herself a Democrat, because she know they full of shit. That's why. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
She know they full of shit. She know they full of shit, but she said she don't want to call herself a damn Democrat anymore. But then she don't have. But then who's paying her? Who's paying her? She getting paid by CNN and all kind of shit. So guess what? When she go on CNN, they're not paying her to have a black agenda. They're not paying her to have a fucking Republican agenda or conservative agenda. They're paying her to be the sassy black Democratic girl. That's what they pay her for. So that's why she's going to stay on that bandwagon. While saying, I don't want to claim them. I just want to benefit off of being on their side. Okay. All you got to do is listen to the people talk.
What you talk?
She said she don't think the Democrats gonna get passed. Is gonna win the House or whatever, the Senate. Well, win the majority. But you're gonna big up the bill that the Congressional Black Caucus is gonna send through Congress when they said if the Democrats don't get the majority, they know for sure they don't got a chance with the Republicans. So her whole conversation on the Breakfast Club was a loser-ass conversation. The whole conversation. They might as well have her go up there talking about music and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because the political part, that's just done. Van Jones, he's in the front row. You know what I'm saying? Smiling and cheesing and shit and exchanging grins with Trump while Trump is, you know what I'm saying, doing his shit that he does. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Van Jones got something passed. Van Jones and the other brother, Hakeem Jeffries. You know what I'm saying? They got something. You know what I'm saying? They was able to add and tweak and be a part of something that's going to benefit black people that's incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? I guess black people that's free, moving right in the drive, we still out here starving. Huh?
Some substance, you know what I'm saying? It ain't just all talking. So he there, you know what I'm saying, doing something. Whereas when you see the other side, it's more talk. You know, no results.
All talk, no results. All talk. Then we sit back and we say, well, why are we going through this? What she said in one of the parts of the Breakfast Club, Angela Rye, she goes, it might have played too, but she goes, and that's why I encourage like the people to come with their own agenda. And no,
push their own agenda. You want us to do the work for them.
You want us to do the work too. Okay.
You get extra pay and doing less work. You know what I'm saying? Like work harder, smarter, not harder. Work smarter, not harder. That's the shield part. Fuck out of here.
That's straight up work smarter, not harder. Because it's like, so I'm in office. Y'all vote. Y'all keep me in. I get paid by the corporations and the taxpayers. But y'all I'm supposed to be fighting for y'all agenda. But y'all now got to push your own agenda. I guess the Democratic Party is going to treat the black vote like record labels treat rappers. black up-and-coming rappers. Get yourself hot. Get some YouTube, some fucking Twitter numbers up. Let me see your Instagram. Let me see if you lit. You know what I'm saying? We got to get our own shit up. We got to get our agenda, black people, and then we got to push our own agenda, black people. Ain't that some crazy shit?
Shit fucked up. Shit fucked up.
You see, because if you create your own agenda, which is nothing wrong with that, you're supposed to go to your elected official and say, listen, this is the agenda. This is what we got you here for. This is what we... No, she's like putting... And you got to push that shit. And once you push that shit, and you getting all that attention, and it's become national news worldwide or something, then we'll give you a call and jump on board. And it's like, what? The fuck out of here. What do we need you for? That's what's important, to understand how the game goes, learn the rules and shit. You know what I'm saying? Primary these motherfuckers. But that's the political game of it. We got to get into the business part too. So the business part that we're gonna be getting into is getting up on them LLCs. You know what I'm saying? Every black man and black woman should have their own LLC and EIN number. Straight up. Every black person should have it. If you don't, get up on it, because you're a corporation in this capitalistic society. Get you some of that corporate money. Get you some of that business money. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. Or stay a slave. That's your choice. This is America. But this is Black America. And this is Black America Radio. It's your host, Rasta B. Smoke. Got any closeouts?
Yo, stay woke, man. Stay woke.
Yeah, man, shit. We out this shit, man. We out this shit. We're going to be working on some projects. And unless some exciting news or events happen, we'll jump back on. But once we finish with these projects, we'll jump on and break that shit down. But until then, this is what we do to the dirty white man.